This is One Broke Gamer Girl, and this is my review of Batman: The Enemy Within, Episode 4, What Ails You, for the PlayStation 4. After last episode's cliffhanger of an ending, and just an overall amazing episode that I gave a 5 out of 5, there is a link to the video review in the description below. I was pretty eager to see where this next episode would be going, and when it was released, I made sure to set aside some time to actually be able to play it. All geared up and ready to go to see where this game was going to go for the fifth and final episode, I played this game to completion, which means it's time for a review. Picking up right where episode 3 left off, if you were the good guy that Bruce Wayne/Batman is, you took the fall for the amazing Catwoman and ended up in Mr. Freeze's ice chamber. If you didn't, then shame on you. After a harrowing escape, it's time to become Batman and put a stop to the extremely crazy and extremely dangerous Harley Quinn. Throughout this super short episode, you'll go back and forth as Bruce and Batman to try to track down Harley Quinn. You'll see Alfred in a new light, as maybe he's a little sicker than he's been admitting to. You might change your mind about the agency and Amanda Waller, and you'll finally come face to face with Batman's mortal enemy. After coming off such a great episode, I feel like this one fell really flat. Not only did it not go anywhere, but it seemed like the whole purpose of this filler episode was to turn John into the Joker. It's really plain and simple that this was the whole point of this episode and nothing more. The virus didn't matter, relationships and past decisions didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was getting John to become the Joker. Nothing was really set up for the fifth and final episode, and playing this episode, which ran about an hour and 15 minutes, just felt like a huge waste of time. At the moment, I'm not too happy with this episode, and it's basically killed my joy for this season, unless Telltale can make some grand gesture in the final episode and turn the whole season around. The playability of this game was spot on like it's been for the past 3 episodes. QuickTime events such as fight scenes work perfectly and enhanced the playthrough of this episode during the action sequences. It did seem like there was a lot of this episode that was spent on loading and saving. Although it was a smooth transition, there seemed to be a lot going on in the background, and there was too many loading screens. The graphics continue to be a highlight of not only this episode, but the game as a whole. They really make the most out of this episode, though, and make you really feel like you're right in Gotham. I've always loved the art style of the graphics for this series, and this episode continues on the same path. I was really impressed with the carnival scene and thought it was graphically the highlight of this episode. Finish this super short episode that basically does nothing, and you'll get yourself another 6 trophies closer to getting the Platinum Trophy for this game. You'll do the same things you normally do when you play these episodes, which is just playing the episode in order to get the trophies, an easy 6 trophies as usual. No multiplayer for this game, and the subtle reminder this time about the crowd play feature. This is easily ignored, mostly by me, as I still haven't tried it, or have any reason to try it. Overall, I give this episode a 2.5 out of 5. Here's what's great about this episode. QuickTime events that are done to perfection and make the action sequences fluid and effortless. Also, the graphics that continue to impress and bring not only the game but Gotham City to life. Here's what's not so great about this episode. It's a really short episode that was pointless as it only has one goal in mind. And not to mention, not only was the episode short, but it just didn't fit into the story this season is conveying. I felt like this episode was a complete waste of time, and that turning John into the Joker was something that deserved more than an hour and 15 minutes worth of time. This is probably one of the most important things in Batman, and it just felt like a side story instead of an actual story. I feel like they could have used an entire season to do that, and it could have been done after this season, not as a filler episode. I wasn't really impressed with this episode, and I'm hoping that the final episode can change my opinion about this season. I'm going to say that at the moment, if you haven't purchased this game, to hold off and wait until the final episode is released before purchasing. At the rate the game is going, you can probably get all 5 episodes in a day, since they've been on the really short side lately.